Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to the channel. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in. Big up, everybody. Hit the likes, subscribe. You guys know exactly what to do as soon as you guys get into the show. And also, don't just sub to me, sub to Northside, sub to Mikez. The links to both of their channels is down in the description below. So you guys already know what to do. Head over there, show some love, sub, all of that. And yeah, enjoy the show because I don't really think it's going to be anything too negative. We've got 3 teams coming back after 3 Ws, and we're probably walking into another 2 Ws this week, although we're going to talk about the Champions League and Conference League games later as well. And yeah, shout out to Hooks as well for the redirect. Big up to you, brother. Everyone sub over to Hooks' channel as well. We did a little show on his channel, I think, last week. So check that out as well. Like, Northside just did one earlier. That's why we've been delayed as well. So go and check out that show as well if you haven't done so either. And yeah, big up to Hooks. Big up to everybody. Mikez, what are you saying, my guy? How's your weekend been?
Yeah, had a bit of a madness of a week, but is that we actually won a game. So calm in the end. We didn't concede any goals and we won at Newcastle. Yeah, I couldn't believe it, to be honest. Like, none of us conceded a goal and all of us won. I'm just calm, just not getting carried away with it though. Not getting carried away. I never do. I never will. But big up to you for having me on again.
Come on, G. Big up, man. I just deep that as well. 3 clean sheets in a row. It's all mad. Northside, what are you saying, my guy? Great to have you back on the channel. Hope everything's good.
Everything blessed, man. Big up, man. Big up, Mikez. Big up, Lewis, having me on. Yeah, man. Good result from Arsenal. Better performance. But like Mikez, I'm not getting carried away.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I just want to touch on this transfer news quickly because this dropped like in the last 30 minutes from Record Portugal. A big source from Portugal saying Chelsea are the favourites to sign Victor Gyokeres. The English club are ready to spend 85 million euros in January and would loan him back to Sporting until the summer. Now, this is the only real surprising development because we've known for like the majority of this year that there has been links between Chelsea and Gyokeres. We just never really pursued it during the summer. Now, it looks like we could be buying him and just doing the whole loan him back till the end of the season, try and use that to get us a bit of favour with Sporting Lisbon, and then bring him back for next season when we're in the Champions League. Now, for me, I could actually see that work for us only because it suits Lisbon too. You keep Gyokeres till the end of the season, which is ideal for them as well. They already suffered enough with losing Amorim. Losing Gyokeres would be a killer blow to their title hopes. But then we kind of have him reserved for next season. My only real question is just the wages. Because I don't know whether he'd be willing to make another move just to be on less than what Nicholas Jackson's on. Because I don't think we should be getting him on above Jackson's wages, because then it just creates a bigger issue for Nicholas Jackson himself. Like we've been singing his praises all throughout this season because we've seen the level up that he's made. He's now a lot more clinical. The link-up play and the hold-up play has only just improved. You don't go and you bring another striker on higher wages than him after the development that he's made in the last 2 years, because that don't really send the right message to him. If he's not performing, I hear it. But he's performing. He's developing. He's improving. So my biggest thing is like, how do you handle the wage situation? Because just to check what he's on, he is on, oh, fucking hell, he's on 50k a week. Okay, so we could give him less wages. It would just depend on what everybody else is offering. Because Northside, you're expecting Arsenal to be on the lookout for a striker. Otherwise, God help your football club. I would expect you to be offering like double, triple what we're offering in this case.
I don't expect Arsenal to go in for him. I
really?
want them to, but I don't see them doing it. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
If it was me, yeah, you go. Based on the history of this football club, they won't go in and enter a bid. And the last time we was in a bidding war with you guys won it. You got Mudryk, even though the player isn't the player that you wanted him to be. You still won it. For me, I just look at it as, bro, just like if you're obviously as a Chelsea fan, bring him in. Jackson's at a big club. He has to expect competition. If he can't, then he shouldn't be at a big club. It's just part and parcel of being at a big club. If you, at the end of the day, he can, he has to perform, and you can't expect that he's going to be the only striker that can be fighting for that position. playing as the main striker. I don't really think it's a big problem, bro. I'll be real, bro. Bring him in. For me, I do think he's better than Jackson. I do think Jackson's improved a lot. I did watch your game against Leicester, and I think he did really, really well to get his goal against Leicester. I think I agree with you. I think he's developed well. But at the end of the day, you're at Chelsea, bro. You're at Chelsea. Chelsea are a big club, and you're going to have to expect to have competition. If you're truly as good as you think you are, it shouldn't be a problem. You should be able to rise to the occasion. You know what I'm saying? You're loaning him back to Sporting. Finish the season the way the way you've been performing during this season. And then maybe Gyokeres doesn't necessarily get into the starting 11 straight away. But you can't be at a big club expecting no competition. That's what Arsenal have had with Odegaard, with Saka. And at times it's bit us in the arse. When Odegaard this season's got injured, Saka's got injured this season as well. You always want competition. At the end of the day, rise to the occasion. You're at a big club. It is
facts. I just realized, because my biggest problem was just how do you handle the wage situation when you've just re-signed Nicholas Jackson and you might have to potentially deal with going into negotiations with him again. But I just realized that everyone gets a 30% increase when we go back to the UCL. We get back to the top 4, everyone gets 30% up. Do you mean that means you could offer Gyokeres something similar with the 30% drop off if we, God forbid, drop out of the UCL? It probably suits both of them. It is what it is. Yeah,
but
now I'm fully back on.
It's Jackson, though, really and truly, yeah. It's not like you're talking about your strikers like a superstar. Like, he's a player that's starting to pick up form. Really and truly, if he feels like that, he needs to drop his ego, because Gyokeres has won multiple titles. He's won cups with Sporting. He's a more decorated player. You know what I'm saying? And he's producing in the Champions League. So really and truly, who is Jackson to really say, oh, why is he on more wages than me? As it stands right now, he's a more accomplished player as an individual than Jackson. So Jackson shouldn't really have an ego of, oh, why is he on more money, bro? Like, his performances and what he's done and what he's won warrants him earning more money than Jackson. And Jackson has to fight for his contract improve. Like, it's not like you're displacing. It's not like he's Drogba and then Gyokeres coming in and then he's like, Drogba's like, yo, why is you more money than me? And do you get me? It's like Jackson, bro. Like, really and truly, you shouldn't have that ego.
I think for me, it's just projecting where I expect Jackson to be within the next year or two. But I agree with you as well. You're comparing it to someone who's already at that level compared to someone who's on the right track. Like, as of right now, I think he's the most informed striker in the league at this point. In terms of season, I think it's still Haaland. Give it a game or two if Jackson keeps bagging. But right now, informed striker in the league based off the last few games. You're comparing where Jackson can be in the next year or two to where Gyokeres is already now. My whole thing is just I just don't want to be where Arsenal is in the next few years, like worrying about the wage structure. But we're not going to be at that point because we got the 30% increase. So to me, if we can get this done in January, this is the perfect move for us. Because now you have the striker depth. We've completely solidified our entire forward line. And it just comes back to centre-back and goalkeeper. Because we haven't spoken too much about the Chelsea-Leicester game, but it was just another straightforward win for Chelsea. It's just the goalkeeper is yet another problem for us. He was still shaky in spite of all of that. And that is the biggest thing that's stopping me from any belief of us potentially crawling back into the title race. We're not crawling into the title race until we get a goalkeeper and maybe an experienced centre-back on top. But for now, like, shit, we're doing our thing. We're doing exactly what's expected of us and potentially overachieving. Because for both of us, we could end up next week in second place. Liverpool get any sort of result against Manchester City, be it a draw, be it a victory. As long as either of us capitalise, we're both going above Manchester City into second place. So for me, we're doing our thing. Add another striker. That just makes us even more potent for next season. I can't lie. Robert Sanchez is becoming a bigger and bigger problem for us by the fucking match week, and it's getting annoying.
It's not surprising.
It's a good thing that we played Leicester. Sorry, Mike. Go for it.
It's not surprising, though, because like this guy was never that good at Brighton either. And there was never a good signing in the first place. Like, a good purple patch at the start of the season is nothing he's not fond of already. Like, nothing he's not capable of already. Like, the two games that are overhyped. Sanchez's stock was that 4-0 against United with him years ago, where he pinged that ball for, I think it was for Gyokeres at the time. And the FA Cup game against Man United, where he just had that mad game where he was saving all them shots. Like, I think people misconstrue goalkeepers that are good at distribution with goalkeepers that are good under pressure compared to goalkeepers that are not good under pressure when it comes to distribution. Like, when Sanchez is under pressure and someone's pressing him, he shits himself. But when he's not under pressure, he can ping a pass like a midfielder. Cool. You can do that. Any goalkeeper can somewhat do that. That is competent when they're not under pressure. Like, doesn't mean that they're really good at distribution when they're getting pressed. Because most of the time, you want your goalkeeper to be good at distribution when you're getting pressed, so you can play through teams. He ain't good at that. And just in general, like positioning wise, sometimes he's always been a bit sketchy anyway. Like he's not in general. He just doesn't have any fundamentals you want in a goalkeeper. He was never going to be the guy to carry Chelsea to even let alone
like an average shot stopper and nothing else. I really don't get it. And Talon, bro, we know why we bought him. The goalkeeping coach from Brighton who wanted to do Captain Savić again. He needs to be sacked as well as Sanchez. Because now we got this brother on another 5 years left and he's fucking stinks. Like, we are lucky that it's only Leicester City and they had Steve Cooper, who was the worst manager in the league. Remember fucking Steve calling him Special Steve on Shameless last episode.
Legit.
That brother was the worst manager in the league, and it's the only reason why it wasn't that deep having Sanchez in goal. But we got Villa coming up. We got Tottenham next week. And this guy is the only thing that's stopping me from having 100% confidence going into those games. Get another goalkeeper or give Philip Jorgensen a run out, because I refuse to believe that this brother is worse. Because if he is, we've signed another bum. We have 10 goalkeepers and we signed another bum keeper. That's when I'm going to start looking at the ownership and the sporting directors and be like, can you not tell what a good goalkeeper is? We have 10 on the books. Are you telling me all 9 of them are worse than Robert Sanchez? All 9 of them.
Yeah, all misses no hits. That's ridiculous,
bruv. But look, at the very least, we got enough in all the other areas of the pitch that I don't have to worry. This is my biggest problem for the season, by the way, which says a lot about where we've grown in the last 18 months. Because before, I would have told you everywhere. From goalkeeper to the defense, to the midfield, to the attack, we were just a rubbed out institution. Now, just change that motherfucker with the number 1 on his shirt and we're all good. That's it. That's it, and we'd be fine. Then maybe I'll listen to this whole title talk that people are starting to put our club into. Because like we'd actually have a goalkeeper that would be saving us points. This guy's saved us in one match. One match against Bournemouth and nothing else. When have we ever seen a bummy goalkeeper win the league as a number 1? Anyone remember? No?
No.
Nope. Exactly. Nope. So we're not in no title race. If we end up in a title race, it's because you all allow it. You all would have to allow it and literally drag us into the race yourselves. And it looks like Liverpool are just pissing the league. If anything, I don't think it's going to go any other direction. Like Northside, to be honest, I wanted to ask you your thoughts of the title race, because obviously you guys had a surprisingly good performance against Forest. I thought that was going to be a really tight game. 1 or 2 goals in that match. Nothing else. I would have predicted a draw going into it. You lot fucking cooked them. Do you have any better hopes about your title race? Because all it takes is a draw and then you're 7 points behind Liverpool. Still a lot of time left in the season.
Nope. No, still the same vibe, still the same energy. I'll be real. Still the same stuff, man. Está complicado. I'm telling you, listen, we need a striker, bro. We need a striker. You know what I mean? We need a striker and we need to be playing Ethan in that midfield, bro. So I'll be real. We still got deficiencies, bro. I'm still not happy with that bench. I'm still not happy that we ain't got a striker. I'm a lot happier with the performance. But even with the performances improving, let's say that we keep this up to the end of the season, we still don't have those players that are going to turn up in those moments that we need those goals. You know what I mean? And are going to get us over the line. So, man, I still don't see Arsenal winning the league. And if so, I want Arteta sacked. I'll be real. So, yeah, man. Things are changing, bro. Like, we played better against Forest. We're supposed to beat Forest. Cool. I'll give it, we performed. We got the result. Cool. But at the same time, I don't trust Arteta. And I don't think we've done enough in the transfer window. And I don't think we're going to go out in January and do what needs to be done. So, and now that you guys are linked to Gyokeres, this club hasn't got a good record in being in bidding wars with clubs and getting over the line. So, yeah.
I think like just off the idea that he's looking at your new sporting director yourself, it kind of hints that he's staying regardless. Which, to be honest, says what we all already knew about the direction of Arsenal. My whole thing was that I thought you lot were just going to be a top 4 club or aim to keep yourselves back in the top 4 like it was under Wenger. And kind of just here again. Because I'd hear the idea that he should be gone if you guys don't win a major honour. And I'm with you. Even if you guys get both domestics, perfect farewell. You got 2 cups, bye-bye. Nothing major. Just walk off into the sunset with them. He's looking at your new sporting director. He's literally got a say in it. How you got a say in your own boss taking over if your job's in any sort of jeopardy?
I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand it. The whole reason of having a sporting director is so there's continuity if the manager leaves. So a new manager comes in, that similar profile to what the club is trying to build, and you don't need to overhaul the whole team. Something that Man United had a mistake, having Moisey players, then having Van Gaal players, then having Ole players, and then having Mourinho players, and having it's just all over the place. How is it gonna set us up to win continuously or have a team that can compete if we're building the whole team and the sporting director all around Mikel Arteta? Like, I don't understand it. That's not what I want. So what? We're going to go for another young manager that hasn't won anything, that sometimes wants to play expansive football, but a lot of times wants to do the dark arts and park the bus. I don't really get it, bro. Like, that decision. I think
they're just trying to build it all around Arteta. That's what it sounds like.
And that's why we ain't going to win anything. That's why we're not going to win anything, bro. True. Because at the end of the day, this guy, look at the mess that he's already brought. Like, he thought that Partey was finished, so he bought Rice, but then he bought Moreno as well. But now Ethan is warranting a start in the team, which I think he can play in the 10, and Odegaard can play in the 8, because I think Ethan is a lot faster in making his decisions in the final third, which is what I want to see from a number 10. Whereas Odegaard wants to take too many touches and allow the opposition to get back into position and close down the passing lanes and the option to shoot on target. But he's not going to do that because Odegaard's his captain, so he's not going to go against him. Moreno, he just spent loads of money on, so he's not going to pick him over Ethan. And everything in this team is reverse, bro. Like, players don't play based on performances. They play based on the clout with the fan base and the money, and if this manager's brought them into the club. Like, nobody can tell me outside of Odegaard and Partey that Ethan should be benched over the likes of Rice this season, Jorginho, or Moreno. None of them three have played better than Ethan. And Ethan's had limited minutes.
I actually didn't think Jorginho was bad on Saturday. I thought he did well.
Against Forest, that does nothing. Lewis, put him up against a team, where we're getting overrun in the midfield. We'll see how bad he is.
The right opposition, innit? Because, like, Forest are always going to come, like, they're the type of, when you're going to a big 6 team, they're going to drop themselves back a little bit. You give Jorginho a little bit of room, he cooks. Right opposition for him, I think.
Did it help that Rice and Havertz didn't play in that game, so you played more fluid, or do you think that just didn't make a difference? You just played fluid on a day because you played against the Forest side that just sat back a bit?
Yeah, like, even though Jesus was trash, like, Havertz wasn't just trying to run in. Like, we didn't have Havertz just trying to run into the box all the time, run into the box. So there was a bit more link-up play. There's a bit more fluidity. With Rice, we tried to play him in that Xhaka role. But the thing is, one thing that Xhaka was good at, we knew he wasn't good at, was defending, which Rice is an upgrade on. But when you're asking Rice to try and create anything, he doesn't create anything. Like, even last season, his best chances going forward was when he was in the box, cross into the box, and he may header it and score you a goal. It wasn't in the build-up play. It wasn't because he was playing defense splitting passes.
Sanchez gives a dodgy pass.
He's not that profile. He never runs the game in terms of his passing. Rice ain't that type of player. So playing him as an 8 doesn't make any sense because that's not what he's about. Every time he receives the ball, he plays it backwards sideways because he doesn't have the vision or the passing range that Partey has. He should actually be playing as the DM, shielding the back line. That's what he does. He's like Paulinho. Paulinho's like that. He's not going to build up play. He's not going to have that, that ball through over the top. So let Partey be expansive. And we saw that against Forest. And you can see that that's the profile of player that needs to play in that position. But instead, we've got Rice that offers us defensive solidity, But outside of that, doesn't do any of that. But we're asking him to drive with the ball. You can drive with the ball all you want. If you can't pick up the pass, then we're going to lose the ball. And all of a sudden, they're going to spring a counter attack. So what is the benefit of that? That's why it don't make no sense to me. Rice is a very box standard, you know what I mean? Like old school DM in terms of all I do is win the ball back and I pass it to somebody that has the creativity and the vision. But we're trying to transform him into something that he's not. And it doesn't work. Jorginho, the one thing I can say that Jorginho does have, and I said it since he came to this club, is Jorginho can actually pick out a pass and he can keep the ball rolling and he can pick up a decent pass and is all right with that. The problem with Jorginho, he loses the ball. He hasn't got the legs to get back. So all of a sudden, it's Partey defended. But at least we can actually progress the ball, which is something that we ain't been doing great this season. We've been lackluster. You know what I mean? And it's just like, nah, man, like really and truly, like Rice, I'm sorry, he needs to play the Partey role. And if we're going to play someone that then play Partey that can actually has vision and can pass, or play Odegaard. Because Odegaard wants to take a million touches. You can do that center of the midfield. You can take your time, look for a pass. And he's doing that when we're in the box. When you're like, shoot, or pass it to Saka.
Quick decision making, and then he lets the defense come back up. I've seen it so many times with some forwards. It's fucking annoying. With Rice, though, you just explained why I said for the last 4 years, I do not want this brother at Chelsea for the price West Ham were asking for. 100 fucking million for just your standard DM.
Yep.
Is nuts.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous, bruv. But
that's the thing when Arsenal were using him last season, like just advanced. Rice was driving with the ball, but he was passing sideways to Trossard all the time. He was always playing on the left. It's all good driving with the ball against like teams that can't defend because they're just going to naturally retreat. And yeah, you can stretch you by just passing to the winger afterwards. But you want them eights to like cut in and shoot, like actually pick out a pass, thread it through to the striker, etc. He's never going to be like that. And to be honest with you,
know him. You've seen more of him than me. He's so slow on the half turn. He's so slow on the half turn. When he's getting pressed, he looks confused. He looks confused. How are you confused, bro? Like I don't get it, bro. This guy's
so expect to be that high up the pitch.
No, bro. The thing is, the only time he was high up the pitch that for us is when he's driving with the ball from deeper positions because he's like, fuck it, no one else is going to do anything. I'll do something. The problem is now, the reason why I don't think this will naturally work for like as the years go by for Rice at Arsenal is for two things. Is the fact that we're at our club, for example, we're losing. He takes the games by the scruff of the neck because he knows he can be the main man there. He can't be the main man at Arsenal, even though he could probably try to drive with the ball a little bit more if he actually wants to. But under Moyes, for example, he was allowed a lot more freedom because Moyes can't say anything to Rice. Arteta, because he's at Arsenal, you have a bit more leverage there. But also, when you're playing him in the 6 anyway, he ain't going to break the lines through there. Partey can. But if you play him in the 8, he ain't going to have that passing range in the 8 either. So I think Arsenal fans are always naturally going to be frustrated with him no matter where he plays. Because when you guys are on the ball, you guys want to break the lines all the time. He ain't going to do that. He ain't going to do that from any position. You want your 6 to break the lines to create from there, and your 8 to drive with the ball properly.
I'd rather Lavia, bro. I already said it, bro. The combination of Lavia and Caicedo is way better than Partey and Rice. It's
got
way
the best
better.
pivot in the league.
I've been watching it all. I've been watching Chelsea games. I ain't missed many. You know what I mean? Way better, bro. Way better. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, man. Arteta's like his idea.
The matter thing is, you lot didn't want to pay that money for Caicedo, but you wanted to pay it for Rice.
Yeah, it's the English. It's the props in it. It's the whole gassing it out because he's English, bro. I don't really care where a player's from. Just perform, bro. I don't care where you're from. Just perform, innit? Like when you look at it, like even Mikel Moreno, that guy is no better than El Nene, bro. And I would even say El Nene is better than him. Like this guy is atrocious, bro. At least Declan Rice can win the ball. He's actually calm. 1v1, he'll win the ball back. He's actually defensively, he's actually pretty good. He's good defensively. I'll give him that. But bro, Moreno, bro, this guy is rubbish. Like, he has to foul man every single time to win the ball back. He loses the ball. He doesn't impose himself. He's supposed to be a big guy. Doesn't impose himself. Bro, I'm tired of this guy, man. He's just a B-Tech Spanish Edu, bro. That's what he looks like. He looks like Edu, bro.
Sounds like Gallagher.
Oh, bro. Horrendous signing, man. Horrendous signing.
Energy merchant.
And that was your transfer saga of the summer, bro. Oh my goodness. The whole way through, I was saying, why do you not just overtake us for Osimhen? And you lot could have easily got him. So you like the wages that he has is just similar to what Kai's on. already fucked the structure anyway. At least get a proper striker on those wages. It's crazy. It is fucking mad. So what is this? Chelsea in talks for a fee for a 15-year-old Abue. Okay, cool. Big up to Ernie, man. Thank you for that one. Fraser, I know they're cussing out his age because they can't be asked to see us linked with a 15-year-old. I don't care because he's a 15-year-old. It is what it is. But in terms of Arsenal, like, at least you guys got a decent victory, and it takes you to tonight. Sporting Lisbon away. I don't know how you're feeling about that one because you got a better idea of Portuguese football than a lot of other Arsenal content creators. How are you feeling about facing an Amorim-less Sporting Lisbon? Because I'd say it would help you guys a bit more, but I looked at your European record and you got like 1 win in your last 8 away games. It's a bit crazy.
Did you need to, Lewis? Like,
so, you know me in it. Like, if I get a chance, I'm gonna say it. But
bro,
1 win in 8, bruv. What the fuck? Because that might even include the Europa League games.
Did they face Sporting in the Europa League and draw there?
Yeah, they knocked them out. Do you remember Goncalves from the halfway line? I think it was him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, yeah. And they lost a penalty shootout. And then obviously you lost to Porto away as well. Last time we went Portugal. So that enjoy is
like traveling to Portugal.
Bro, it's gonna be long for us, regardless. It doesn't matter that the manager ain't there, bro. They got a lot of good players, bro. Diamande's been playing extremely well. Bragança as well is a very, very good player. They got some tricky wingers. Trincão has been playing very well for Sporting Lisbon. Goncalves is a very tricky winger as well. And Gyokeres, he's a very good striker, man. Very, very good striker. And he will definitely bring the wingers into the game if he doesn't have any space. I think it's gonna be stress, bro. It's gonna be stress because they press really well and they defend extremely well. And they play obviously in a very similar formation to Inter, and we struggled. We struggled against teams that play a back three because we don't really have like our left-hand side of our attack is completely dead. Like Martinelli can't take on a player and slows the game down. You've got behind him, whoever you play behind him isn't instructed to overlap and get him into the game and giving him an option. We always want to play Calafiori inverted, Zinchenko inverted, and even when we play a Timber on the left-hand side, he doesn't overlap. So the left-hand side is completely dead. We just rely on if we can give Havertz any type of service and if he feels like he wants to turn up, which is very selective, and all that, we don't need a striker. Havertz has been scoring at the start of the season. All that talk has died down now. You know what I'm saying? And then we're looking for Saka, you know what I mean? Or Odegaard to do anything. If the game becomes, if Odegaard's getting pressed in the middle of the pitch, trust me, he ain't going to be doing anything. He does not like to be pressed. Chelsea fans talk about Enzo, and I've seen it in certain games, that Enzo, when the game starts, when he's getting overrun in the midfield and it gets a bit, rough, he sometimes goes a bit missing. That's the same as Odegaard. When he has space, Odegaard looks great. When he has space and time, like we saw against Forest, it's great. When he's getting pressed and overrunning that midfield, trust me, the guy goes missing. You know what I mean? It's jarring, bro. Like at the end of the day, the best I can really ask for from this Arsenal team is a draw. And that, to me, is a disgrace because when you see the money that Sporting have to spend, I think Ruben Amorim, one transfer window, had 40 M's to buy, I think it was 4 or 5 players. He was spending on an average about 8 million euros each player, bro. That's how he was building up this squad. 8 million euros.
Fucking hell.
Like this guy, bro, I'm telling you, bro, he did wonders with Sporting, bro. Like the budget that he had, the fact that he got all the players on side, and the way he developed this team. Like at first they defended really well, and then once they understood the system, they were pressing, winning the ball back really well. They can play the little triangles, but they can play the long ball as well. Like they're not an easy team to break down. They're not an easy team to work out. They're not one-dimensional. So listen, I think it's long. I reckon we lose today, bro. And if we lose, I'm gonna lose it.
Bro, yeah, because your record in the UCL ain't been good this season anyway. Like, you've got the draw to Atalanta, you've got the loss at Inter. Fucking hell, you've only dropped points away from home too. Oh, jeez.
Meant to be this decent away team as well after slowing the game down and dark arts and all that stuff. But in the Champions League, that's never come to fruition.
It's a little bit mad. Yo, you man, by the way, Hate Watch is now officially scheduled for 2 hours. So keep a lookout for that, guys. I was thinking about whether to do the watch long or not. We will be live 7:30 p.m. So keep a lookout for that, guys. But Rice and Havertz back in the squad then, because I saw some rumors that they weren't pictured going on the flight.
I'll be real, bro. I don't even know. I don't know who's available because this manager, bro, like this guy tells us certain players are available, other players are not available. I don't really know, bro. Apparently, Tierney is available. That's all I know, that Tierney is available. But that player, Tierney doesn't want to play for Arteta, bro. Look at the way he's been treated, bro. He put Zinchenko.
He's even in your squad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. It's just, yeah, it's gonna be long today, bro. I can't lie to you, Lewis, bro. I can't lie. I already got the Maggie in the fridge. I'm saying I got the Maggie in the fridge.
I already got the vices out. I hear it.
I need the copium, bro. This
You
is
got the vape on the side. There you are. There you are.
We have to, bro, because, bro, I don't trust this team, bro. Look how embarrassing this manager's been in the Europa League, and people think that he's gonna do something in the Champions League. Like, this club like to go on, yeah. Like, we're too big for the Europa. Win it then. Win it then. We've been embarrassed, and I'm not even mentioning Baku because Baku wasn't under this manager. Cool. Let's act like that never happened. Let's just park that. We're getting slapped up by Sporting before in the Europa League. We've been slapped up by Olympiacos in the Europa League. We've been slapped up by Villarreal in the Europa League. This is our heritage in Europe under this manager, bro. So if this manager can't do it in the Europa League with teams that you would say are, not Europe's elite, what are we going to do in the Champions League, bro? Like, we went up against Inter. We had no ideas. He's not going to play Ethan, even though Ethan deserves a run. He deserves a run. I'm not even saying this guy is world-class or nothing, but let me see how good the kid is. Let me see how good he is. Because every time he plays in the cups.
At any point, because, like, I've seen that you guys are now looking at a new deal for him, and he's got, like, 2 years left on his contract already. If I'm him, I'm using that to get a move away. Yeah, you lot don't give him any opportunities. Like, he gets bench minutes. Whether you're winning, whether you're losing, he just comes on. And you lot need someone in his role.
The problem with him, he played against Preston. We played players like Sterling, Jesus, players that got way more experience. They're on bigger wages, and they've been at the high level for a long time. He got man of the match and scored an absolute rocket of a goal. Then he plays against Bolton. Same kind of players playing, and he's outperforming them. Gets another goal, gets man of the match. 2 games that he plays, 90 minutes, he gets man of the match. Then he gets 10 minutes against Forest. 10 minutes. And this is how many minutes he's continuously getting in the league. 10 minutes. 10 minutes comes on, does exactly what Odegaard ain't doing. Direct, takes on 2 defenders and slaps it and scores. All of a sudden, this manager's talking about after the game, we need to lay bricks. What bricks you feel that, Buddha? What bricks, bro? The only time I'm laying bricks is when I'm in the toilet. When you talking about laying bricks and talking about the cement needs to settle. Settle what, bro? Do you know what I'm saying? That dye that you got from flipping super drug needs to settle on top of your head, you feel that, Buddha. Yeah, I'm tired of this guy, bro. Now, real talk, I'm tired of Arteta. What do you mean he needs to settle? We're managing his minutes. Cool, we're managing his minutes,
laying the bricks in phase 5.
Bruv, this guy's, do you know what it is? His worst attribute, Arteta, is actually managing people's minutes, like man management. Because think about it, he overplays all the important players, even when they don't need to be played. Even in the games where you can afford to rest the players and have your supposed squad players that you supposedly trust from the bench and all that to come in. With Ethan Nwaneri, I get cool, he's young and all that, but when someone's ready, you have at least putting him on the last 20 minutes of each game is not going to help a player develop. Not going to help a player rise to the first team. He's ready. You at least give him a start here and there, not just in the Carabao Cup games. And these are the games where you want to see a player, if they're good enough for Arsenal or not, in the games against Sporting, in the home games against Nottingham Forest, where you need to bounce back after 4 games of being winless. These are the games where you need to rise. And even when Odegaard was injured, we didn't see him once start in the Premier League. That kind of tells you all you need to know about what Arteta
he'd rather play Moreno, bro. He played Moreno in the 10. He played Trossard in the 10. This guy's talking about, he's young. We need to manage his minutes. Why don't you manage your minutes, you feel that puta? Why don't you manage your minutes, bro? Because you're young in this game of managing football teams. Why don't you hold that and go be a manager in the MLS like flipping Sol Campbell? Why don't you go and do that? Or Patrick Vieira? Why don't you go to the MLS, bro, before you come to my club and start doing this pool crap, bro? Don't talk to me about managing minutes, bro. You didn't manage minutes for Trossard when he was injured, before the international duty, and then he gets re-injured in international duty. You didn't manage Ben White's minutes. He was injured at the start of the
Saka.
season. He's been playing rubbish. He was injured, and you play him every single game. You didn't manage his minutes, did you? When Declan Rice, broken toe, you didn't manage his minutes. He's been playing almost every single game. So you won't manage his minutes. Don't talk to me about managing minutes. When have you managed Saka's minutes? You only want to rotate Saka, yeah, when he gets injured because you didn't manage his minutes. When do you manage Odegaard's minutes as well? Because he has to play every game. What about Saliba? He's 23 years old. He's a young player. Do you manage his minutes? It's all bullcrap, bro. This guy only wants to talk about managing minutes, yeah, because he doesn't want to bring Ethan into the team. That's the only reason, bro. You don't want to admit that this kid, yeah, is better than some of the bums that you brought to the club. That's the reality, bro. Don't talk to me about managing minutes. There's players on this team that you didn't manage their minutes when they came, and they were young players, bro. So
Can I do devil's advocate? Because, like, if I had to question what this might be, and before I do that, I also want to make it clear as well. Just because a man is holding their club accountable, it does not mean that he's not a fan of the club that he supports. Just want to make that one very clear right now, because I hate that narrative. When you hold your club accountable, it means, oh, you're not a true fan and all that crap. Get out of here. But as I was saying, if I had to play devil's advocate with what's happening with Wanyeri, do you think it's because he hasn't re-signed yet? Because there's something similar going on with us, with Josh Achimpong, for example. Like, he's not getting any minutes at all until he re-signs with us. He's got a contract till 2026 as well. But because he hasn't got to re-sign in the contract, we aren't giving him any more minutes. We aren't helping him develop any further because we want him to commit his long-term future to us. Do you think that might be the case with Wanyeri?
But Wanyeri's performing, though. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, Wanyeri's...
No, but like Achimpong had games for us last season. Like, we brought him on against Spurs. I think like 75th, 80th minute or something. He made more chances than any Spurs player on the pitch. Just in that time. He just ain't played him since.
I don't know. Maybe he's smart, though, Lewis, yeah, because let's be real, yeah. Look at what this manager's done with young players. Balogun goes out on loan. It's putting numbers up there with Mbappe in Ligue 1. What's his reward? Come back off loan, we're selling you. We're going to continue with Nketiah that's been doing nothing, yeah, for 4 years, getting chance after chance. You know what your reward is from doing a good loan deal? You're getting sold. But guess who gets a new deal? Reece Nelson, that did not perform out on loan and doesn't perform for Arsenal when given a chance. So the two bums get a new deal, but Balogun gets sold. Then we had ESR. Oh, ESR keeps getting injured. Okay. ESR has been fit. What do? You're getting sold. You ain't getting a chance. You're getting sold. That's how we treat the youngsters. Charlie Patino. This club was gassing up when Charlie Patino scored in the cup game, yeah? What was his reward? You're getting sold for £1 million. I'm not saying Charlie Patino's good enough, but give him a chance. Give him a chance to see if he's good enough. Then I don't mind you getting rid of the player. At least give me a chance to see a player on a consistent basis if the performance warrants it, for me to say, is the player good enough or not? So if Ethan is smart, his agent should see and be like, yo, all these young players that have come through, they're not given a chance. The only one he's given a chance to is Martinelli and Saka because they're part of the starting 11, but he's not bringing through anyone that's actually performing. So do you want to sign a new deal? Do you know what? Keep performing for Arsenal. You're starting the cup games, and that's going to put your stocks up. Arsenal fans are getting annoyed that Ethan ain't starting. Cool. More teams are going to come for you. All of a sudden, you can go. That's what it is. Because if your club is not showing a route into the first team, why would a player want to commit to your club? Based on what? Cole Palmer left Man City to have a platform at Chelsea to thrive on. If he did not do that move, would we know how good he is? Maybe not.
See another one.
Do you know what I'm saying? Enzo Fernandez at Benfica was there for 6 months. We gave him the platform at Benfica to perform, and then he had to move to Chelsea. But he was given a platform to be able to actually perform. Haaland, the same thing. Arsenal don't do that. Did we do that with Gnabry? No, we didn't. We loaned him out to West Brom, never gave him a chance because we had Iwobi. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense, that's like, what we do. And do you
he's
know what?
Been rubbed out for years as well. That's crazy.
As much as I hate Wenger, yeah, as much as I hate Wenger, yeah, at least Wenger, yeah, allowed Aaron Ramsey, yeah, perform in the cup games to then make his way into the starting 11. Fabregas, perform in the cup games, make his way. Van Persie, Adebayor, we bought young. They performed in the cup games, you had a route. Kieran Gibbs, not all the players were incredible. Carl Jenkinson was a bum, but he was given a chance, yeah. The manager gave him enough rope to hang himself if he's not good enough. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't do that no more. Mikel Aziz, he was another one getting gassed up. Did he get an opportunity? I'm not saying all these players are good enough, but give them the opportunity if they're performing. You're not getting given that under this manager. If Saka came through the youth team like he did under Unai Emery gave him a chance to sink or swim. He swam.
Rob Holding, that's another one.
Bro, Saka started as a fullback, Lewis. And because he kept performing, he then could play as a right winger. But there was a route there into the team by Unai Emery. Name me one player under this manager in 5 years that's been given that chance. And now Ethan's doing it and you're telling me he can't perform. Why? Because when I'm looking at the other options, Rice ain't performing, Jorginho ain't performing, and Moreno ain't performing. So it's not like there's players that are performing and then I could say, okay, cool. Foden didn't get a chance at Man City like early on in his career because he had KDB in form, he had Bernardo, he had David Silva, he had all these ballers. Then you can justify it. But that's not the situation at Arsenal. So why is the kid not getting more minutes? Why is he not starting? Why is he only coming on for 10 minutes? 10 minutes, bro. This kid is performing despite the manager not believing in him, bro. Not because the manager's believing in him.
I hear it. If I was him, I'd be gone in January to find a championship club or something. Because there you'll get the platform. And within like 18 months, you'll get a move away. People look at the championship a lot more now than they used to in the last decade. Like, look at Gyokeres, for example. Man, that Sporting pulled him out of Coventry City.
Yeah.
Hell, Coventry City. I mean, Lampard's going there. That would be the perfect move for him. That would literally be the perfect move for him. But I hear it. Like, Arsenal, you man barely give opportunities out like that. Like, it seems to be like you're just stuck with your favourites. Like, he has to win the league with Saka and Martinelli just to prove a point. Just to say that he did that. He built them up to a level where they were able to win a league title. But it's like, look, just win the league title and you're going to get your plaudits. Doesn't matter who you win it with. It's just about whether you do it or not. And if anything, like it would be a much more positive outlook on yourself if you're able to admit that you made mistakes. Like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have signed Havertz. Maybe he's a bag of shit. I'll go get another striker. It is what it is. I made a mistake. We work from that. No, instead, we have to find a way to get to win the league with him, with Jesus, with Saka, with Martinelli. And I think maybe part of it comes down to the crazy wages that you gave them to, because now you've locked yourself into a really tough predicament because no striker's going to join to be understudies to either of them. And you're also not going to offer their money to anyone else. Only Haaland deserves to be on the money that Havertz is for any striker. And you're not going to give that to anybody else. So, like, if you really deep it, Arteta's just put you in a fucked position in terms of your forward line, where it might take you like years to really get out of it, because you're going to have to wait for Jesus' contract to expire and then for Havertz's contract to expire either. Neither of them are accepting offers anywhere else unless Saudi come save you. And I'll be real, if you're Saudi and you're putting all that money to Gabriel Jesus, like, yeah, you're done out. Because you can only have a certain amount of like foreign players per each club anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just a little bit fucked. It's a little bit fucked. All mad. Shout out to everybody that's locked in, though. Keep hitting the likes, keep subscribing, all of that shit. Mikes, we haven't spoken West Ham yet. Now, I've noticed it's 10 points in your last 6 and a big away win at Newcastle. So you know what I'm going to ask you, innit? Has he given you any more hope? Because I saw this as well going around. Like, also, little warning, because I know it's going to piss you off a little bit. I've seen this doing the rounds. The Lopetegui apology form and all of that.
Excuse me? Fucking excuse me? Apology for what, bro?
I don't know. In a way, when at Newcastle,
which one is ticking, Mikes?
Bro. Oh my god! I didn't even know this was a thing.
I was jealous of Ruben Amorim. I don't know football. I miss wins too much, and the media convinced me he was done. I will hereby respect Lopetegui, and I will not talk down on the future Premier League Hall of Famer. This is ridiculous.
Whoever created this, please go outside. I beg. Go outside. Legit, there's an outside world. You don't need to be in your living room, trapped behind your curtains constantly. Please, there's an outside world. There's grass. There's other life. Just travel.
Man said all that over an away win at Newcastle. I'm so dead.
Oh,
That is
listen,
crazy. You could have at least wheeled that out this weekend if you beat Arsenal, but I doubt that's
there is
happening anyway.
there is no apology. No, why? I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I didn't even see that ever.
That's why I wanted to give you a warning, innit?
Reddit, Reddit, West Ham Reddit. Why is there even? Do you know what it is? Yeah, I've just noticed this. Online football fans shouldn't talk to each other because cretins attract cretins, and it just becomes a cesspit of just pure cretins. That is what online football fans are when they don't show their face. This is what you get. These are the kind of results you get. And no, he hasn't given me any more hope. Like this is what has kind of been happening towards this season. Is like we kind of performed similarly to the way we did at home against City. And the way we did against United for 80 minutes, Ipswich for 80 minutes, and Palace for 45 minutes. Like, we perform well when we get freedom, when the manager just allows the players to play with freedom. He changed up the midfield. I thought it was going to be a bit unbalanced, but Souček, Soler, and Paquetá was actually the right midfield in the end. We've struggled with mobility. Edson Alvarez just been a pure bozo this season. Guido Rodriguez has been scapegoated. But Paquetá and Soler getting the ball from deeper positions. We've actually got some technical players just going to receive the ball, etc. Souček didn't get involved in build-up play, just did his job defensively, performed well yesterday. And I'll give credit where it's due all the time. The thing is, the problem is with this is that we don't perform for 2 games in a row. We've not won for 2 games in a row yet. This is only our 4th win of the season. If we're not going to go to Arsenal and perform like that, and even if we try and set out off the ball like that, we're still like an over-top through ball away from conceding an easy goal. It's just because of the way we're structured. That it's a high line, but the midfield plays deep. So it's kind of just like that's what Newcastle were trying to get at all game was just a ball in behind. But Kilman and Tadibo
It did work out a few times as well. They just had some poor finishing, especially the first half.
And even at times, I didn't even test Fabianski, to be honest with you as well. It's like Isak wasn't tested. Like I mean, in terms of like Kilman and Tadibo weren't tested by Isak. Like every time they tried to get the ball like in behind, Kilman ain't as fast as Isak, but he's intercepted it. That's what he's been doing all season. Max Kilman hasn't got any plaudits all season by anyone, obviously outside of West Ham, because people don't watch West Ham, but seem to have an opinion on West Ham.
And the position, innit? Like last season, I was doing the same thing and just being told, "Look, you're 14th, you're 15th. We ain't listening."
Exactly. And listen, I don't even have any complaints from yesterday, barring the fact that listen, there's a lot of players that didn't start well. Like Wan-Bissaka didn't start well, but had a great performance in the end. Antonio didn't start well, but that was probably his best performance all season. Same with Emerson as well. Like Emerson's been decent all season, gone under the radar. It's been criticism kind of been unwarranted, but he's been going under the radar really. He just Mr. Consistent, I'd say. Actually, Somerville's getting a lot more game time because Kudus is still on the ban. He's still got 1 more game left, unfortunately, when he's for what he's banned for against Arsenal. But Somerville's come in and he deservedly get the minute. He's deservedly got some minutes because we've needed that for time, like someone that can cut in from the left onto his right foot with pace and just start running at defenders. Like Livramento was just on the floor half the time trying to defend Somerville. So that's the kind of winger we needed. But overall, it's not going to change because we performed like this against Ipswich. We battered them. And then that was, I think we had the international break afterwards. Then you saw what happened against Tottenham. You saw exactly what happened against Tottenham. I wouldn't be surprised if we get
Tottenham seemed to be some collapse, though, because it was like 3 goals in 10 minutes or some stupidness.
Yeah, that's why I don't get. This is what the manager does, though, with his tactics. It's like all of a sudden we play one way, then we can play. Then we play completely differently for the next 10. Like, that's why if he just kept it like this, we could actually be a decent team and he could actually succeed if he really wants to at this club, but he won't because he likes to change how the team plays every game. That's why I had hope against Man City where we actually went against Man City. And the only reason why we lost 3-1 was because two of the goals were individual errors by Mavropanos. One of them by Mavropanos and one of them by a poor Emerson pass. And Mavropanos ain't even a starter at the club. So you can feel like if you count them individual errors and keep creating chances the way you were against the smaller teams, you can beat the smaller teams. But we then went to Fulham and played long ball football and just about scraped a draw. Same with Brentford. And that's when we got battered against Chelsea. We went man to man with you lot and just got absolutely slapped. We got slapped by
suicidal high line too.
Yeah, legit. And we had Wan-Bissaka marking Cucurella. Or your right back is our right back is marking your left back in a man-to-man system. Make it make sense. Like he approaches every game differently. It doesn't make any sense. Like, so we could win against Newcastle. I'm very surprised we won against Newcastle. This is our bogey ground. This is our bogey team in general. I know everyone struggles against Newcastle, but we ain't beaten them in 3 years before that game. Like, we didn't beat them since they had Steve Bruce at the helm. That's how long it was. So Like that's how mad it was at the time. And the fact we got a clean sheet there is a testament to how we played, but they were awful on the night as well. They were just being one-dimensional, just trying to ball
little
over the
bit
top
both.
constantly as well.
You
It
were
was a lot.
struggling. You were definitely struggling with the crosses in the box. Definitely struggling. You're very like Newcastle could have at least got the Isak chance. He should have scored that. No one's even near him. He should have scored that. Then, you know, arguably the penalty at the end. You're lucky that didn't go against you. I see why you're still concerned, because really and truly, Newcastle just weren't clinical enough on the day. Like, you gave them enough opportunities to get in the game and at least get something out of the game, which gives me more confidence going up against you guys this week. That if we just keep spamming crosses into the box, you guys ain't going to mark your guy, or you're going to give away a penalty like you should have got against you at the end. Yeah, you guys weren't that great, man. Newcastle just weren't clinical enough, really and truly. You did well for your goals. I think you did go. Souček did well. The second goal was a good goal as well. But really and truly, you keep leaking opportunities like that, you're gonna drop points. So I get what you're saying, Mikes, man. Don't listen to the hype, man. Trust me. They keep talking. Yeah, when you get it right, is Mikes was waiting for us to lose. He never believed.
Legit, bro. You can't call me a negative West Ham fan. You want me to be a positive West Ham fan? Do you know what? Do you know what you actually just said when you're asking for that? A positive West Ham fan. Like, what are you actually asking for, man? Like, I grew up and we got relegated. Like, you want me to be positive, bro?
No, that delivery was brilliant, man.
You want me to be a positive West Ham fan? That is hilarious. Like, do you know what's funny, yeah? Everyone's like, oh, we got hope now. We can just kick on. Like, bro, it was unanimous before this game. Everyone thought we were going to lose to Newcastle and Arsenal when he gets sacked. Cool, we won against Newcastle. That doesn't mean even if we beat Arsenal, it doesn't mean we're going to go and beat Leicester after that. Like, it's going to just be up and down. We're going to be distinctly average. The way Newcastle played.
But if you do win,
if
you do win, that puts you in some really good form with the result, with the games coming ahead. You're going to face Leicester City afterwards. They might have Van Nistelrooy in charge by then, but like, it is still Leicester City. Wolves at home should do them.
Should win that.
Bournemouth and Brighton, God knows. And then you have Southampton on Boxing Day. Which should be all fine, and then like you die afterwards because you got Liverpool and City.
But this is the thing. Do you know what it is? It's West Ham. You just listen to fixtures. It should be easy, but it's West Ham. This is what we do. This is what we do. We don't play well at Southampton away, and they're awful. Brighton are one of our bogey teams as well. We've got pretty much everyone's our fucking bogey team. But Bournemouth away as well. Like, Bournemouth away is not easy. I know they haven't been on great form, but like, Iraola is capable of just outmastering you on a day. The problem is with this club is that we just set a good platform for us to carry on, like we did against Ipswich and Man United, but we won't carry on. Paquetá played well. This was probably his best performance of the season so far. I want to see the guy actually fucking dribble.
Like, that midfield should be the midfield I think you stick with, at least for the next game.
We should be going unchanged. Unless there's any injuries, we should be going unchanged. There's not even a conversation. Like, the thing is, we've actually
still out?
Yeah, Kudus is out for one more game.
Cool.
But this is the thing. Even if Kudus comes back, I ain't dropping Somerville. You drop Paquetá if you're going to drop anyone, because he hasn't been great this season. So I'd say Somerville, Kudus, and Bowen if you're going to play them three behind a striker, in my opinion, just because Kudus deserves to play this actual position. He's been playing on the left all season. Bowen has not been used right all season, and a bit of respect for Jared Bowen for what he actually got to play naturally where he usually plays, and not just on the touchline, but driving with defenders. And he can create. He just don't allow him to only create on the pitch by just making him hug the touchline and Wan-Bissaka making underlapping runs. Like, we scored that goal, but we need to switch it up most of the time. You want to see Bowen in goals.
Like, it worked 1 times out of 100 or something.
Yeah, you want to see Bowen just shooting on goal constantly. You want to see Bowen like peppering the goal. He's the most dangerous shooter we have. He's the most clinical finisher we have. And Carlos Soler actually played in his right position. He got given a chance. And there you saw it. You saw it hit. The midfield was balanced, and we actually created. We played up from the back well. And the thing is, I don't mind playing up from the back. I don't even mind going long. I don't mind how you play as long as you don't waste passes. But this specific West Ham team is better when you actually play out, when you're actually brave. When we go long, we're going long to Antonio. The guy is big, but he's 5'10". He's not going to win a header, and he's not good at leaping either. If he leaps, he'll break his ankle somehow because of the amount of weight he's pushing on. And so Souček is the only one that can actually win an aerial duel. But even if he wins the aerial duel, who's he flicking it onto? This is not Sam Allardyce football where people just run on the second ball all the time. Like the problem is we need to have a consistent way of playing. We don't know what Lopetegui is as a manager. We don't know what his identity is. Like, and even if you see his face, the guy looks like your local nitty from Ilford just asking for spare change. But at the same time, you guys have just got to still get on with
Steve
it.
Cooper, for fuck's
Bro,
sakes.
he's taken over Steve Cooper. Honestly, all that energy from Steve Cooper has gone straight into Lopetegui. But like,
I mean,
but
now you mention it, I kind of see it.
bro, but that's him looking at his best. You know, did you see him yesterday? He looked like he just woke up. Looked like he just woke up. He looked like he was just about to ask like Eddie Howe for spare change, bro. Genuinely, he looked like he was about to ask for spare change right at the end.
He looks like an extra from The Walking Dead.
Honestly, bro, look at that. Look at that. You don't like imagine you're a player, yeah, and that's giving you a team talk. You ain't got no energy to go
He
out
looks
there and
very
play.
emotional, you know.
I would be too if I would be. I am emotional because he's my manager, bruv. I am emotional because he's my manager, bruv. You put me through enough. It's only been 12 games. I was
just getting a rare away when nearly had him tearing up, man. Poor guy. That's a lost soul.
He just wants a house and a place to sleep, man. He's just begging for it.
He needs some more points, bro.
No, honestly, look at him, man. He's just that's like you doubting me face, but I ain't got that.
I've got the Tim Lewis hairline and everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you set the platform for you to go and perform. Are you gonna do that against Arsenal? Are you gonna not change anything and like keep the same lineup, same approach, and on the ball at least? No, you're probably not because you change the game every time based on the opponent. You'll play possession-based football one game, play long ball football the next game. How are the players meant to get used to that? Mistreating of players, bad man management. It took you this long to put
Tadimo in. That's the perfect indictment of a manager who ain't got a clue of what he's doing because you're not picking anything and just sticking with it.
Yeah.
Like with Maresco, we know what the philosophy is. We know what the style of play is going to be. There might be some tactical tweaks, but you know exactly what our aim is. You know exactly what we're going to do and what you expect from Chelsea. Like Northside, from all the criticism you have of Arteta, you know exactly what you expect to see game in and game out. Lopetegui, nah. It was the same thing with Poch. It'd be a different formation one week, players in different positions the next week, and it'll all just be a mess.
I always refer back to the fact that Lopetegui did get the job in June. So did like Maresca in the summer. So did Hertzler in the summer. You can see their style of play at their clubs. Like there's not an excuse. It's just good coaching. It's simple as that. Like you're not expected to see the final form product like straight away. You're expected to see the outline of what you're trying to work on. We haven't seen that yet. We've seen a different West Ham pretty much every game. We was expecting with the players that we signed and with what he's meant to be. I thought Spanish people were meant to like football and all that, but we haven't seen possession-based football. We haven't seen that. We've seen players that are suited to that style, the Solers, the Somervilles, etc. But to me, most of them haven't played. Most of them haven't played. Back four, Wan-Bissaka, Kilman, Tadibo, and Emerson should be doing a lot better. Shouldn't be conceding that many goals. They've actually played well individually, but as a cohesive unit, they've been set out all wrong. And the problem is as well, if you're going to play a high line, put pressure on the ball. When the other team's playing up from the back and playing through the midfield, put some pressure on. But why are you sitting back and then having a high line? It doesn't make any sense. Newcastle just were bad on the day in terms of clinicality. We were decent on the ball, yeah. We were good on the ball. It was one of the better times we were actually, playing through the lines and stuff like that. But your real test is Arsenal then coming up and then a Leicester team that's got probably a new manager bounce by then. Those are the real tests, really. Leicester away as well. It's not Leicester at home. So you ain't got really much of an excuse. You can't... Like, this is the thing. Any team that draws at home with Everton, 0-0, bro, I don't know. Get your apology forms and stick up your ass, man. Yeah, stick your apology forms up your ass, man, about, apologies, man. 0-0 draws to Everton.
I thank the Lord I never saw a Poch run from last season. I would have actually scrapped someone over that shit. I hear it.
You had Ashley Young just FIFA 14, 40-year-old crossing it all the time. Like that's how they were playing under Sean Dyche, bruv. Like just spamming crosses. They were playing against pretty much a 2012 Barclays team.
I didn't even catch the highlights. I saw 0-0 and I was like, swerve next game.
Bro, I was at the game. There were no highlights, bruv. There were no highlights. There was no.
Oh, you went? Oh,
bro, I'm going. I go to every home game. I'm going to be there this weekend, and I'm going to go there to regret not going there. That's what's pretty much going to happen. I'm going to look forward to the train home. That's it.
Just quickly on that one, Northside, how are you feeling going into that West Ham game? Just vaguely.
I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect because we've been very inconsistent with our performances, and this manager doesn't seem to play the lineup that we want to see or play players that are in form. So my honest opinion is I don't know, Lewis. I really don't. Like,
No, I respect that. I respect that.
I don't know what he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's gonna do, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just taking it one game at a time.
I know it's a bit early in it, but I just wanted to gauge where you were for that game, regardless.
I don't know. I really don't know. Are we gonna just sit back and try to hit them on the counter? Are we gonna actually try and impose ourselves like we did against Forest? I don't know. You know what I mean? This manager's unpredictable. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. I really don't know. I think West Ham definitely, when we play at our best, when we play fluid football, when we actually try to attack and are direct with the way that we attack teams like we did against Forest, West Ham are beatable. We should be able to beat West Ham. But if we do this slow build up, pass it backwards, sideways, playing the wrong players, then and we play this precautionary type of football, West Ham can get a result. West Ham may be able to get a result. So yeah, I don't even know, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to hold smoke against Sporting, so I ain't really even thinking about that. But yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Shout out to African Cat. Kudus has one more game out, so he'll be back for the Leicester City game next midweek. So yeah, big up to you, African Cat, though. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in. So it's been great to get everyone back for another episode. Shout out to everybody. Sub to Mikez, sub to Northside. The links are all down in the description, so you guys don't have any excuse. And we're going to send you guys over to the Sporting Lisbon Arsenal Hate Watch. So we're going to be back live in an hour's time. And yeah, Forza Sporting, all of that. See you guys soon. Take care. Up the show.